Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DePietro and Bob Zagami.
Okay, let me get rid of the logo. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to RVing in New England.
It was a long pause.
Yeah. Your video didn't work. Came up with the same stuff.
Thing. Okay.
So,
Whatever.
got an interesting show tonight. Kind of a different type of theme, and I thought we'd throw a lot of stuff out there. Pretend you're around the campfire, although it doesn't look like you're in your campfire must be in front of you, John.
It is.
My campfire is behind me, and
right.
my fan club is over there. But,
right. The only difference is my campfire shows the proper season, which is the fall. Yours has people wearing short sleeves.
That's a Florida campground, John.
Oh, Florida.
I'm sorry.
That's right. The leaves don't change colors down there.
Yeah, we don't have jackets like you're wearing tonight.
Yep. Double jackets. But you know what? We should thank our friends at
where?
Seacoast RV.
Oh, yeah. Actually, they sent a new ad. They like many of our dealers have got some tremendous sales running right now. Seacoast RV on Route 1 in Saco, Maine, creating fun on Route 1. So they got some incredible buys there on a lot of the Winnebago towable lines. Tremendous discounts, and some of these
tremendous discounts.
Yeah. They got 25, and some of those are 25s, brand new ones, and the 24s. So think of going up to Seacoast RV this weekend up on Route 1 in Saco, Maine, and check out what they've got. And we got a bunch of other stuff that we have running around also for this particular show. Let's see what we got. We got a couple early birds there.
Jim Roy, thank you, sir.
Jim Roy is in there.
Jim Roy, let me ask you, how was your event, your mini event at Booth Bay? Was that a good event again at Shore Hills? Hopefully that was a good thing. And they had that spaghetti dinner. They have the spaghetti dinner again like last year. And hi, Tom, up in New York. Mr. Butler.
Great to see you. Charlie Butler out in Pennsylvania. Nice.
He says he's in New York. Charles is in New York. Where in New York, Charles?
And Jim Keenan. And I think they're on the road again. Yeah, I think he's kind of working his way down to Florida, but I think he's
south,
on the road today. Yeah,
I got to figure that. Hi, Frank Palange.
Frank Palange just snuck in.
Yep. Oh, he's in Oswego. That's straight up 81, right, Charles? Straight up 81.
And then by Cooperstown or Corning. Oswego.
Well, Cooperstown and Corning are nowhere near each other.
I know, but Oswego, I think, is in the middle.
No, I think Oswego is straight up 81, north of Syracuse. I know. I'll look at the map.
Yeah.
I'll look at more relaxing. No spaghetti. Good Lord.
No wonder.
Jim's not on the road yet. Frank. Hey, Frank, did you have any issues at your property down in
Fort Myers?
What do you call it? Fort Myers. Frank, let us know.
He's away from the beach. So he might have been all right. He's far.
Well, Bob, I have some video of and I can't show it yet because I was in Shipshewana. Wow, that time of year. Did you go to what's that place where they had the great fried chicken and the desserts?
The Blue
Garden, Blue Gate place.
Blue Gate, yeah.
In Shipshewana. No issues, just cleanup. That's interesting. Because earlier today, my brother sent me a video of a couple that we had on last March. Connecticut people that moved to Naples. And I remember we shot the video right in the front of Seed to Table. And they sent me a video today. Their unit was totally destroyed by wind. And I was going to have him on tonight to talk about it, but he's still working some things out with the insurance company, so we didn't want to jeopardize anything.
Nope, you don't want to do that.
On that, but it showed him his unit was it was considered totaled, but it showed it being righted back up because it was on its side. So I figured if it's blue on its side, yeah, north of Syracuse. Okay, that's where I thought.
Yeah.
So Tony is here. Tony, where are you at? You in Oklahoma or Arizona or somewhere? We got people all over the country.
I think he's still in the Elkhart area from the Frog Rally and some other stuff that he was doing out there.
Yeah, but that was a while ago.
No,
Tony, tell us where you're at.
within the last month or so. That was August, September. Yeah.
No.
Do that.
Charles, a modified track there. I think the modified track, New Mexico, but headed back to Elkhart. Why are you headed back to Elkhart? Repairs or more work?
Just in Elkhart.
Yep. Well, he's in New Mexico now, but he's heading back to Elkhart.
Interesting.
So this is the only show, Bob. It's like a talk show where we don't talk. We just talk and they text.
Yep.
And
well, we said one of the things we were going to talk about was dealer events, because this time of year, dealers do a lot of events around the fall camping or fall foliage and apple picking, and there's a gigantic event this weekend. If you haven't seen any of the stuff on it, I'd be surprised because they're advertising a lot. Over the past year or so, Hemlock Hill has been building a new building on the property. And it's actually bigger than the other one that they
original
had.
building.
So there is a grand opening down there starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
DIY class on winterizing Sunday at noon. And free food trucks Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 3, burgers, dogs, and ice cream. So we wish them well. I can't get back up there, and I think John's going to be there on Friday. Did you say
there Friday? Yeah.
Go and see it. And they're ecstatic about the building. It looks beautiful, and they took the opportunity to repave, or in some cases pave, the rock area where they were displaying their units. So
yeah, it's just a beautiful building. It's going to be state of the art.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the best facilities in Connecticut.
Yeah. And the interesting thing, Bob, is that the existing building is pretty nice.
Yeah.
But when you look at it with the other building only maybe 15, 20 feet away, it looks like a Quonset hut compared to the new one.
Yeah, but a lot of the new building is they're going to take the service department over there. And I believe it's 16 bays on there. Yeah. But in addition, they'll have office places for the technicians. They'll have parts and accessories. They'll have an office for Jason, because Jason Andro runs that into the business, all the operations and the service. Chris takes care of the.
I think everybody's going to be over there.
Those in the front end. I think they may be. Yeah, I think they may be. And Michelle does that. So they've done a great job promoting it. If you have some time, stop by and congratulate them and let them know what they're doing there. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, because this is the time of the year for winterizing, and May just does a great job on it. Besides having every last item that you would need to do it yourself, but every Saturday at 2 p.m. in October, they are doing their free winterization seminar, they call it. Yeah. But, everything you'd ever need.
I had my unit winterized because, 2 weeks ago, we were up in Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire, and it was 37 degrees in the middle of the night. So I said, this year I'm calling Ryan Hadley early. So we went up, Ryan came over on Monday of this week, but it was about 78 degrees when we were 78 degrees, where I kind of like, and Walter and Jason Cole and those guys must be laughing at me because they're the tough guys. They let it go up until they camp until almost Thanksgiving.
I don't know if I can do that. There you go. Can you see that down below?
79 degrees.
79 degrees in Florida. 78
Okay.
degrees in Massachusetts.
So
That's good.
while Ryan winterized, and I took a video of it. I was going to use it tonight, but we thought we had some other videos tonight that technically presented a challenge to us. So we're going to probably show you that video
Yeah, you can
in a
show
couple
that.
weeks.
Yeah.
But let me tell you one thing, folks. There are DIYers because they know what to do, and there are do-it-yourselfers because they want to save money. I will tell you this. If you want to winterize yourself and save money and miss one step, you will cost yourself hundreds of dollars. And I watched Ryan from start to finish, and I said, oh, I would have forgot that. Oh, people mostly, I mean, see, a lot of these refrigerators now have ice makers in them. And if you don't take care of that, that freezes and you need a new fridge. The other thing is the little outdoor shower needs to be drained. If you don't do that, you cost yourself money that way. Camp on Thanksgiving weekend. Well, I don't know how you do it, but he does it.
Yeah. I
So,
wanted to, in addition to the open house, Hemlock Hill is also a top 50 dealer, and the only one in New England. Campers Inn got it for their Jacksonville, Florida store, but the only one in New England is Hemlock Hill. I don't know if anybody's been up to Weir, New Hampshire lately, but they are finishing up their Camptoberfest. I didn't ask the Silva family or Ray if they're serving any Oktoberfest beer, but that's Alexa, who happens to be Scott Silva's daughter, and she's doing a lot of the videos and a lot of the promotion stuff. So you got a week and a half to get up there to Weir, New Hampshire, and visit and see what they have on sale. And I made a post the other day that they also own the Cold Springs Camp Resort, and they are closed for the season. So that's another 5-star camping resort in New England, right behind the dealership. So, and that
and
is
also
full service dealership. They got everything.
I don't think it's going on this week, but because I think they're already closed. I'm not 100% sure. They might have one more weekend at Bailey's Camping Resort. And October, people say, oh, October, right after Labor Day, things close down. Well, right after Labor Day, things get quiet for about 2 weeks. And then when October hits, I don't think that there is a time of year that RVers enjoy more than Halloween. And we've got a video that we'll show you next week, or watch it this week on the Camper Report Show. We did a tour of Bailey's camping resort a few weeks ago during one of their Halloween weekends. Number one, they were totally sold out. And it seemed as though virtually every unit that you went to, even the rental cabins, were decorated in, and I'm not talking about just having some orange and black streamers hanging from your unit. I'm talking very intricate displays of people that are not attractive looking.
It is really amazing what their campers go through when they light them up at night. It's almost like Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade or seeing the windows on Fifth Avenue. Every site has something, and I'm sure they must have competition to pick the. Do you know, John, if they have any competition to pick them?
I don't know if they had categories with that or not, but
Well, I'll tell you this: you don't need your headlights if you're driving around the campground.
Oh, no. And I know for this, interesting you bring that up. You cannot drive around the campground because there is between 5 and 8, no vehicular traffic in the campground can move.
You can only walk.
You can only walk.
That's a great idea with the number of kids that are out
Only
there
walk.
trick-or-treating and somebody in a dark costume.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep. You can't do it. So
Hey,
RVs at Walt Disney do an amazing job decorating for Halloween. It's just absolutely amazing. Hey, Walter, is Donna in right now or going in, or what the scoop? Because, it's something, it's a fact of life that as us people that watch this show that are over a certain age group, have to face hospitalizations. And sometimes you face hospitalizations that's not in the area that you live. Like we've had 3 or 4 occasions where we've had to deal with hospitals outside of New England. Walter, the only good part is with your situation is that you're nearby and whatever. But can we wish Donna well, or is she just prepping, or is she there now, or just what? Because I think it's that several day sleep test, right?
Week. I think she's there for a week. Yeah.
Yep. No record of her testing. No bad start. You mean you went in today to get checked in and they didn't know she was coming?
Wow.
Start over again tomorrow. Okay.
That's the last thing you need when you need hospital care is incompetence.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will tell you this, or I'll ask you this question. A lot of people join FMCA because of the medical evacuation benefits that are there, meaning if you become
drive it home program.
Yep, disabled.
Yep.
While you're far away from home, they will get your RV home. Has anybody? Hopefully, nobody's had to use that. But is anybody aware of that program? Because that was one of the reasons that we joined last year.
Oops, you dropped off a little bit.
A little bit, more than a little bit.
You dropped off the screen while you were out of sight. We want to. I just had it up. What the hell did I do with it? Boo, 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 boo.
Come on. What? Oh, wrong camera.
Well, I just had a picture. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
We want to wish Grace Meckelson her 101 birthday celebration they recently had with the family, and I thought I saw something where they took her down to New York City to celebrate. But we want to get the Meckelsons on and celebrate their 60 plus years of being a great RV family business here in New England. So happy birthday, Grace, and I'm sure your family, I'm sure Bruce and Jenna and Olivia took good care of you on your special birthday.
Didn't we have somebody scheduled within the past few months?
We had that scheduled, and then Grace's husband John passed away at, I believe he had just turned 100. And Grace's
something like that.
Yeah.
People will go through they'll go to any length to not be on our show.
Well, I'll have a talk with Olivia and tell her we have to get that conversation going again. Hey, John, do you know what today is?
National TV talk shows.
So do we qualify for that?
Well,
I was going to post it this morning, and then I had to get out of here, and I didn't do it. But today is National TV. We could ask our fans, do you guys think we qualify to celebrate on National TV Talk Show Host Day?
Well, we do have a show.
We do too.
And we do talk, and we do host it. And I will tell you this, based upon some of the stuff that you see on TV, I don't know how these people, well, I know they were hired. They were hired based upon their appearance and their weight, and their hair color, and their measurements. They were certainly not hired based upon competence of any topic.
But we were hired for our weight, our not so good looks, our obesity, so we had to fight real hard to get into that group.
Larry Peter said we could both pass Martha Stewart.
No,
I have to get an orange jumpsuit.
Larry says you both could pass for Martha.
Martha, he must mean Martha Stewart.
Huh?
Yeah. So Larry, Larry, are you going to be at Homestead this week and then in Phoenix next week? Because we got to start
I hope he's not thinking about Martha Raddatz.
Yes, Stewart.
I was-
Martha Stewart. Yeah. Well, at least
Martha
you spelled
Stewart.
Stewart right.
I was going to try to go down to Homestead, but I have a large boot on my left ankle because I rolled my. Fortunately, I didn't tear the tendons, but they're bruised. So I've got about 4 months of walking silly, 1 or 2 months in the boot, and another 2 months to get recuperated. So
Well,
it's only 2 hours away. I could have been there in 2 hours.
looks like I'll be going to Daytona alone. Larry, will you save us tickets again this year? That would be great.
Your brother's not
And,
going?
and also, we got to get tickets for Ryan Hadley, who does a lot of remote work for Campers Inn when they are when they get a customer that's too far away.
Does he want to go to Daytona?
He absolutely wants to go to Daytona.
Well, yeah, buckle up with him. Is Michael not going?
No, he's going.
Oh, yes.
He's going. Oh, there we go.
But
There
your
we go,
wife
Larry.
is not. Your wife is not going.
Larry. So, Larry, let me ask you this question. AJ, does he run both the Cup cars and the, I still call them Busch Series? What's
Xfinity? The Xfinity.
the Xfinity? Does he
He
run
won-
both
He
series?
won the race Saturday. He's in the championship.
Huh?
He won the race Saturday, and he's in the at Las Vegas. So he's in the championship.
Hmm.
Did you? It must be you. It's
That
not
was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
So,
That was
Larry, do you have any logos on any cars for the last, as we get down to the championship races? And I don't think you were on AJ's car on Saturday. I was out. I was away from the house, and I don't know if AJ had your colors. I'm sure you would have told me if you did. All right, Larry says correct. AJ is in the final four. So is Joey Logano. How'd you think that worked out, Larry? You see, John, you don't know enough about it. Ryan.
Wait. The final four for Xfinity.
Xfinity, yeah.
Yes.
But Joey Logano's in the final four for the Cup Series, but he
Right.
wasn't in the final 8. They wound up disqualifying Alex
Right.
Bowman, and Logano was the next in line. So not only does he get into the final 8, he wins his way into the championship 4 the very next week.
But he had, we saw him back in February, and he had an absolutely terrible season up until a month ago. Hadn't won a race.
Yeah.
And was way down in the standings. And then he won a race. Then I think he won another one a couple weeks later.
I think he's won 4.
Came on strong.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly which one, but RV will ride.
RV. Okay, so the cartoon character will ride with AJ at Phoenix. So on one of the back quarter panels, Larry. But that'll be good because AJ is a great ambassador for Campers Inn RV. Absolutely.
Bob, we had our picture taken with RV Artie on the
with the
flag that they put,
sign, the pit sign, so the driver knows where to stop. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
RV Artie.
We'll do it again this year. Yeah. No primary for us. Artie.
Beyond the car. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe on the car.
Yeah. I wonder if they price their deals that they get more expensive at the end of the year. I don't know, but I'm sure Larry works a deal.
Well, I know that they're signed up for the year for most cases, but there are situations where they get to a track and they pick up a local sponsor. And I don't know if they make a discounted deal. Somebody in that town that really wants to, play with NASCAR. But
that happened a few years ago up in Loudon. There was a local company that nobody heard of, and then they bought a sponsorship, and then they were a household name the next day.
Yeah, it's got that kind of coverage. Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah. Most of us are sold well. Yeah, they're probably selling next year or 26 already.
I marked the show on my date minder.
All he talks about is himself.
Well, what's his other choice? He talks about his brother.
Well,
I mean, given
he doesn't talk about the subject at hand. He doesn't talk about the subject at hand. He goes, "Well, hey everybody, I'm here."
I thought it was the case.
Yep.
Most races are sold well in advance. Well, I don't know. Maybe we should advertise on NASCAR, John.
Yep. Yeah. Well, you never know.
Right, Michelle checking in. Mom and I are at Normandy Farms, right next to the Red Hall with inside pool and hot tubs. And I think I've got a yeah, check this out. Michelle bought a new, let me get rid of that other one. Boom. Take that off. Go back down here. Michelle has her new Rockwood, and they bought it from Dave Labley at Russo's RV Sales. He's happy. She's happy. She took getting planned to take mom across the country in next year, but that's them picking up the trailer, and now she's doing a couple of dry runs over to Normandy Farms. Are you also shooting some video while you're there? You were going to kind of use this and do some videos while you were there. So, have you got any videos planned this week with Chris, or you're just treating mom to Normandy Farms now? So they must have the Halloween weekend, right, Michelle? So what are you and your mother dressing up as? That's the wait. That's the wait and see.
Old people. They're dressing up as old people.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Larry, if you're still here, Larry, if you haven't left yet.
Why would he leave?
When he comes, he said, "Gotta go. Great show, boys.
Shit.
Gotta go.
All right.
Gotta go."
So what were we going to say?
Midweek, not weekend. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep. No, just relaxing. So you know what I wrote down here for the only note that I have for this show. Harvest Toasts. Has anybody been to a Harvest Toast in New England this fall? Because we did 2 out of 3 nights on Columbus Day weekend with Harvest Toast properties. And I will tell you this, there are so many to pick from. They have done such a phenomenal job in increasing. It used to be, wineries, and then they added breweries. Then they added, what do you call it?
Golf courses.
Yeah, golf courses. And now what they've done is they've got all these historic attractions. We'll show you this video as soon as we can get it fixed, of the fort up in New Hampshire. I did not know that Charlestown, New Hampshire. Well, let's do a little quiz here before. Charlestown, New Hampshire, there was a famous baseball player that was from Charlestown, New Hampshire, that played for the Red Sox. Anybody want to guess who he might be?
Carlton Fisk.
Carlton Fisk. Okay, we were up there. That used to be Massachusetts.
It did?
Before New Hampshire existed. That was all part of Massachusetts. So, but I'll tell you, folks.
Well, Maine was part of Massachusetts too.
Right. It's worth investing in Harvest Toast just for the fall season in New England, because there are so many great places. And you know what? You don't have to deal with the crowds. And on both occasions, we called on the day of and were able to secure accommodations.
At the Harvest Host.
At the Harvest Host.
All right. Got your radio voice on?
Yep. There we go. Hey, everybody. We want to thank our sponsor, Seacoast RV, proud sponsor of RVing in New England. They are in Portland, Maine, Portland Road in Saco, Maine, and they have Winnebago products, and they have a wide variety of Winnebago products on an amazing sale right now. They also have crop park models and elevation park models, and there's some of the. Look at the pricing. MSRP $43,000. The price through them $28,000. So that's what, $15,000 difference. Pretty amazing. So go on up there. And you know what? They might even have deals. I'm not sure. I'm going out on a limb and saying this, but I'm guessing that you might be able to make arrangements with them that if you buy the unit now, you can keep it there until the springtime. I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. But you know what? If you don't want to take it home, keep it home for the winter, then you know what? Still own it. At that price, you can't afford not to buy it.
Well, one of
So,
the things that I stuck on the list tonight was apple orchards, and there's some great ones here. Did you post something recently on an apple orchard
was it apple orchard?
in New England? There's a lot of
No.
great apple orchards in New England and New York, and get your fresh apple cider and your apple cider donuts. And I suspect with the filters on Harvest Host, you must be able to filter it down and just pull up the apple orchards that are
Yeah,
on your
probably.
go.
I mean, there's so many searches, but I will tell you this with Harvest Host, and Charles said that they added an extra night at some sites that give you more time to enjoy the area. The person that I spoke to at one of the properties said that it was the best thing she ever did as far as open up her property to Harvest Host, because both of these properties, like one of them was a, you know what? It was a tree farm in New Hampshire that we got maple syrup. We got fresh maple syrup there. Okay. But she said, we're so far off the beaten path that the people that are staying with us now would never drive by. We're on a dead end road on a mountaintop. But she said her store business has increased so much because of the Harvest Host. We spent $80 on pure New Hampshire maple syrup that came right from the trees right in that yard.
Let's check with our fans and see if they've been camping, either doing a Harvest Host at an apple orchard, or if any of the campgrounds that they
Who's
have
that?
frequented have an apple orchard.
Who are you referring to?
To our fans.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
let them give us some input to it. Let me see what Michelle says here.
Yeah.
Went to KOA Mystic and
Week and a half ago.
a week and a half ago. Big Halloween weekend and had grandkids. Great weekend. Charlie says Harvest Host added. Oh, okay, that's what you said. You were talking about Charlie.
Yeah. Hey, the other thing, Charlie, is this.
Michael, I beat you. Michael, I beat you to it.
Yeah. You know what? He won that chair set a couple years ago.
That's right.
And he flaunts it all the time, even though he doesn't use it. But nevertheless, Charles, another thing you want to ask for is some of these places will allow you to hook up, 30 amps. You're not going to hook a 50 amp up.
Well, that was the thing that, as they've been promoting the rework on the site, it's practically a brand new site, but they've added filters so there are many of them now that are giving you an electric hookup. So the hosts themselves are responding because they're getting such a high level of traffic from Harvest Host. So if they can do a couple of little things, throw a water hose out there or let them hook up to the barn, why not do it?
Yep, exactly.
Jimmy's not in New England, but we have visited many, many awesome hosts throughout the country. So are you on your way down to Florida? I think he'll be at Daytona too.
He was at Red Apple Orchard, Red Apple Farm up in Phillipston. Great stuff. And I've stayed there, and they have barbecue, and
don't they have beer up there too?
They probably do. I don't know if they have a brewery. Yeah, you know what? They do. They do. In the back they had, but we had a couple grandkids, so we didn't go to that. Early no. What that means, I don't know. Early no. But when you go to the when you're in New England this time of year, they'll press the apple cider right in front of you.
Yep.
We went to a couple of the county fairs that were going on, and they actually have the actual apples where they grind them up with one machine, and it goes into another, and they just press it, and it takes a bushel. It takes virtually a bushel of apples to get, a cup of apple juice. Cider. I'm sorry, cider. Apple juice is just cider watered down. But
Well, if you haven't winterized yet, man's been doing a lot of advertising. Either they'll do it or get the supplies up there on, I think it's 202 in Rutland, Mass. And that's a great place to find some apple orchards, and certainly fall foliage would be another good place to do
Man's
that.
is on 68 or 122. It's
120
not 202.
right.
It's 122 or 122A. Yeah,
Yep.
122.
Yep, and Longview RV has done
In
some.
Rutland.
This was a recent winterizing clinic that they do, and down at Longview RV.
Yeah, I think Todd Emerson was hosting that.
Oh, was he doing the instruction too?
Yeah, I was waiting to get interviewed by my brother,
Oh,
but he's still waiting. It's kind of an inside joke, but you know
and
what I mean.
if you're going to be up there in New Hampshire looking at the foliage, stop in and see Mike at Route 125 Marine and RV, and see their selection of product. They're wholesaling their 2024 models. Get them out, and they've been a family-owned business for 30 years, and they are right on Route 125 in Rochester, New Hampshire, just down the street from where Mike Perry lives. But that's another one that if you're going to be up there touring the countryside in New Hampshire, make sure you stop in and say hello to him. And a lot of people go out Route 2 for fall foliage. And if you go that way, you have to go through RVing, Mass. And you'll want to stop and see Tim Christensen at Tim's RV.
That's what I did.
This was his display at Springfield last year, but he sells the Intech product and the Oliver.
What I did, and I saw that unit there. What is the Oliver? That's the Oliver there.
The Oliver in the top right, the Intech in the bottom middle.
And I think that's the Flying Eagle on the bottom left.
Yeah, the Soaring Eagle.
Soaring Eagle, right.
Yeah.
The one designed for small trucks.
That's an all aluminum truck camper.
Yeah. We saw both of them, and we did a video, put it right on. You haven't seen that yet, but we did it 2-3 weeks ago. So Jim Keenan said, of course, they have beer. Oh, early November, he's going down. Okay. Early November through March. And where does Jim go when he's down there? Jim, where do you go? Jim and Susan?
I think they're over on the East Coast, maybe close to Daytona. Dante's over at Daytona in that area.
I'm trying to.
I forget where Susan and Jim are settling into.
Middleborough, Mass.
So they got new Sticks and Bricks heading to Florida in early November.
So is he going to, Jim Keenan, are you going to winterize before heading to Florida and then unwinterize when you get down there? Sunkissed in Summerfield, Florida, south of Ocala. Oh, so you must be right near the villages.
Must be above Orlando and south of the villages, or south. Yes,
right near the villages.
Oh yeah, because when you go straight up, you hit the villages, then you hit Ocala.
Yeah. No, you're not going to winterize. You're going to take that chance. Okay. Yeah, 10 miles away from the villages. Okay, Sunkissed in Summerfield, Florida, south of Ocala. Not going to winterize. Boy, Keenan, you're taking a chance, depending upon when you go down in November. Early November.
But he may know how to do it himself.
Yeah, he may.
He
may.
Sure, in the service department at Pete gave him good instructions when they sold him that unit.
I'm still toying with the idea of taking the RV down in November and keeping it there until January for the Tampa show, and then coming back and then going back mid-February for Daytona 500 and then staying for the month of March.
Well, the fairgrounds changed their rules on parking, and you can't get in there till late. But
must have been damage.
But keep in mind, because I still haven't had a chance to get up to see Dave Kelly at the Florida RV Trade Association. I want to see their new headquarters, but he got hit with the last two hurricanes. They had some damage on both of them, and So we canceled probably 2 or 3, and I was actually scheduled to go up there on the 10th when Milton decided to come through. So now that I got this lovely boot, I'll probably
Susan
wait.
asked, will Tampa go on? Yes, Tampa is on. Tampa is scheduled.
Oh yeah, Tampa's on. It's just the fairgrounds is getting a little testy about people on the campgrounds themselves and the amount of space, and maybe they're getting static on how many people go down there. But yes, absolutely, Tampa is on, and we'll do that. What else did we? What else do we have that somebody must want to talk about here? Heading south, we kind of hit that. Leaf peeping, we hit that. Winterization, we hit that. Dealer event. Wow, we did pretty good. We talked about
seminars. Seminars. We talked about it briefly, but you know what? Seminars at RV shows, regardless of how long you've owned your RV, you should try to look at every one of those topics for seminars, because there might be one specific topic that can really benefit you. And the thing is this, there are some shows, and you have to be careful, because there are some shows that the seminars are given by people that are selling a product. Like if it's about how to live in Florida, something like that. There might be a Florida RV community that's selling space down there.
Yeah.
And they want you to buy the space. So it's really a disguised commercial.
Well, there's also affiliate programs where people, I think the really good people will tell you at the beginning of the seminar that they have an affiliate program with the company they're talking about, and they will earn a small commission if you buy it. They don't try to sell it to you, but you'll see that a lot of the influencers have that on their podcast.
Yeah.
But for those of you who follow us both here and on the Camp Report Show, my interview this week is with Chris Doherty and Mike Sokol when they were doing their seminars down at Hershey. I interviewed them, and John played the cameraman, but it's a great interview because they talk about the audiences, the things that they teach, and the number of people that Hershey gets for their seminar program. There are people that will go to the Hershey show and stay in a campground the whole week. And they'll go over one day to do seminars. They may go over another day to look at the rolling stock. They spend that kind of time. And people do that with Tampa too. And you can, because they're the two largest shows in the United States. And if you're going to go to them and you have the luxury of time, then stay for the whole week. Get a campground, visit the local area, go to the Hershey chocolate store, buy yourself a bunch of chocolate before you go home.
At the same time, you absolutely, if you can see a Chris Doherty seminar or a Mike Sokol seminar, go to it. Go to it, because they do not do any schlepping. Okay. They give pure material and knowledge based on experience. They didn't buy a slot to tell you something about a new program or a membership. They give you content. And when you go to those seminars, folks, bring a notepad or bring an iPad and take notes, because when it comes to electricity, I mean, here's one thing that I learned from Mark Polk, our good friends from Mark and Dawn from RV Education 101. When you run your generator at night and don't have a pipe to take it up to the top, you risk killing yourself, because the fumes from the generator can go right into the RV, and you don't know that you're dead until you're dead. Okay. And that was just a seminar I happened to stand in on from the back, and they're talking about that. Oh yeah. If you're downwind, but wind changes at night. So keep in mind, go to these seminars.
Yeah, well, there's absolutely nobody better in our business than Mike Sokol when it comes to electricity. He also does a lot of training for the manufacturers and other technicians, dealer technicians, that sometimes that's not one of their strong suits. So the dealers will bring him in to do a class just on electricity. And if you are certified with RVTI for level 1 and level 2, you can move on to level 3 and specialize just in electricity. There's electricity, there's chassis, there's steering and weight. There's 5 different courses that will allow you to become certified master technician, and then you have a chance to get all 5 of those. But Michael teaches those programs, and not for RBTI, but for other companies, and he's just the absolute best when it comes to, especially if you're not handy. Yeah.
No, Tony does. Tony and Peggy put on seminars. No, they don't necessarily put them on themselves, but they recruit the seminar speakers.
So that's impossible because they never recruited us. I find that hard to believe, John.
Well, Zagami, you got to get out to Quartzsite one of these days. I went last year.
Yeah.
And it's well, Tony, wouldn't you agree? Quartzsite, you can't really compare Quartzsite with Hershey, Tampa, or any other show because
I haven't been there, but isn't it more like a fair or a festival rather than a consumer show like Tampa?
No, I mean it's more of a huge campground. It's a huge. I mean, there are 500,000 people in that general area from November to April because it's free BLM, Bureau of Land Management land. I think you pay $20 for a month, and then you may have to move or renew your. Well, it's not even like you have to move because you're parking in the middle of the desert. It's not like there aren't even any roads. There are paths, right, Tony? Burning Man for RV owners. Yeah,
you like this? What said is Burning Man for RV owners? Well, wait, they get a lot of RV people at Burning Man, Bill.
Yep. It's the RV carnival in every way, but you know,
absolutely.
I mean, it's got the big tent, the big tent, but in the tent are, I'd say, 400 or 500 vendors, the same type of vendors that you'd see at a regular show, but they're all in one big top, and people are lined up at 7 in the morning to get into the show because it's totally free. That's the other thing. You go to Quartzsite. I mean, it's like Woodstock of now. It's
for
just
old people. Woodstock for old people.
Well, no, there's young people. There's people there of every shape and size, and there are RVs. We saw a couple of those RVs from Europe. Those Maine. They're big. These giant German things that the tires are 10 feet tall.
M-A-N. Man. Yeah.
And then next to them, we saw units that were held together by blue tarps and duct tape. So there's everything imaginable and everything in between. More nudity and mud at Burning Man. Yeah. Well, let me tell you, from the people that I saw at Quartzsite, nudity is not something that you'd be interested in.
They don't want to see us nude, John.
No, not
those days are long gone, right?
Not
Still
by any means.
RV education for a lot of education, and I don't know if you guys saw that Mark Holt just came back from the ravaged area of North Carolina. They're very active in their local church, and it looked like there was probably 10 or 12 men from the church that went up there for a week and helped all the, assisted where they can and where they could up in the hills of Western North Carolina. But I know he's back now.
Jim Keenan says bad visual. You are Jim. That is not even beginning to tell the story. Quartzsite people
it'd probably get us thrown out, Jim.
Yeah.
Where others would be invited in, we'd probably be shown the exit.
Yep. Hey, Quartzsite, middle of the desert. There's not even a McDonald's. There is a Hardee's or something, but there's not even a McDonald's in it. And it's in the desert, and it has a yacht club, right, Tony? Tony met Willie Nelson there last year at the yacht club, and we have visual proof of that. And whatever. But you know what? There's a lot of great stuff coming up. This is kind of like the swing season right now, because depending upon the weekend, for example, we'll still use the RV this weekend to park right near the airport on Saturday night because my wife has a 6 a.m. flight on Sunday morning out of Bradley. So we'll park down there.
What weekend is this? What weekend is this?
This weekend coming up. Sunday morning, she's flying down to Fort Myers.
She is.
Yeah. And Yacht Club just closed. Wow, I wonder why. Mickey D's. I don't remember the McDonald's. That might be at the far end. But anyway,
hey, if you are traveling around, make sure you stop by and see Sherry Fuller. Since 1984, 26, 24. That's 50 years. 50 years of renting RVs out on 140 in Boylston, John. 140, right?
Yeah, 140, right.
So plenty of units still available for rental. Take them all over New England, have a ball.
Yeah, that's 40 years ago.
And I mentioned Alexa earlier. I must have 2 slides in here for Alexa. Well, she's a nice lady, so go up and see her twice.
If there's no McDonald's, what will Trump do? Yeah, there you go, Tim. Well, we're trying to stay off the top. We're trying to stay off politics here.
Who's that?
Tim.
If there's no McDonald's, what will Trump do? Well, that's a pretty benign statement. That's all right. We'll allow that. At least you won't have to worry about Kamala being in the same line.
No. She works at McDonald's.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But anyway, we can't talk about that.
We can't talk about that.
But let's say this, okay? Regardless of who you're voting for, vote.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay? We did our early voting this week. It was an absolute fiasco. The ballots were written, were printed. You had 2 ballots because there's so damn many. What do you call it? Questions on the ballot that you can't figure out. You can't figure out what they mean. So if you vote one way, you think you're voting one way and you're really voting the opposite way because that's the way they write them. And the other thing is this, the print was so small that I don't know how people that have any issue with their vision were able to see it.
I'll tell you, there are so many people voting early in Florida. You could see every one of them because the lines were so long.
Yep.
So absolutely long. And they got a couple of controversial amendment items. And they said that if you don't read the sample ballot before then, you will be in the booth for 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah. And you can't, they're written by lawyers or lobbyists whose sole job is to create the opposite impression of what they're trying to do. So, and that goes both ways from both parties. But, folks, when you look, there are a lot of veterans that are RVers. And, whenever you go to an RV event, you always have the veterans stand up and be appreciated. But this election, again, no matter which way you look at it, this is probably going to be the most important election of our lifetime.
I think maybe ever. But the early voting results are much higher than they expected. They're different than they expected. So the people really want to vote. Even in the western part of North Carolina, they surpassed what they did in 2020, being totally devastated, losing everything, the house, the business. I saw a business guy on TV last week. Maybe towards the end of last week. He's a businessman in that Asheville area. He lost 70 businesses, 70, in addition to his house. The numbers are mind-boggling of what they are in fact going through down there.
Yep, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
We hit almost everything without even planning it. So we didn't talk about time to buy a new RV. We did talk about the guys that are having the sale, though.
We talked the time because I said, look, now is never been a better time up at Seacoast.
Absolutely.
Or go to your favorite RV dealer.
It is a great time to buy a new RV. Get it ready and either have them store it or buy it and head down to Florida and be a snowbird.
Yep.
All right. Any closing statements, Mr. Laturco, Mr. DePietro?
No, we are going to
Do we get Laturco on here tonight?
on Saturday. We're going to, where are we going? On Friday, Hemlock Hill. We're going to Hemlock Hill, see the new place, and look forward to it. Maybe we'll see some of our friends down there. And it's right in Waterbury, Connecticut, right seconds off I-84.
Yep.
So have fun, everybody.
The big time. Have fun. Travel safe there, and we will see you next week. I'll do another last ad for.
Yeah.
Let me show you those numbers again. This was Kenny. Kenny sent this to me personally today, and he said, "Could you show this one tonight?" So those numbers are staggering. So visit Seacoast RV on Route 1. See Kenny or Amanda or Brittany or Kendra and take home one of those great mini winnies and camp in it next year.
Here we go, everybody. Have a great day.
Sounds good. Good night, everybody.
This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.